It's 12:30 Friday afternoon in downtown Oshawa. A police officer told CBC News that when you see an ambulance around this time, it's usually for one thing, an overdose. That just hours after Mayor Dan Carter announced a public health crisis and asked the province for help.
My community does not deserve to live in fear day in and day out.
He says violence and unlawful behavior stemming from mental health and complex addiction challenges are at a breaking point, with the city spending over $3.5 million a year to tackle the issue.
I've got a neighborhood that 2 years ago was a family neighborhood with no problems. It is now under siege with 50 plus homeless and addicted people shooting up on the streets right in front of people's houses. Compassion can't be just for the homeless or addicted. Compassion also has to be for the neighborhoods.
In its release, the city referenced a shooting that happened recently, though at this point, police won't say what caused it. They do say overdoses slightly decreased from over 350 last year, but they haven't nailed down why yet. Police stats also show violent crime is down compared to this time last year. Still, they agree the crisis persists.
We can arrest people all day long, and that's great, but if the cycle is going to continue, we need the supports, the social services.
With the mayor stressing it isn't like there are fewer people who need help.
Our population of those that are the most vulnerable in our city in April of 2020 was approximately 45 individuals. Today, as I speak to you, that number is over 500 in the city of Oshawa. We do not have the expertise, we do not have the resources to be able to deal with this.
The mayor says he was hoping to get those resources from the province, even going as far as meeting the premier in his own home, all in an effort to secure $40 million for an emergency mental health and addictions ward right here in their local hospital, Lakeridge Health.
What I'm saying is I'm too stupid and too stubborn to give up, so I'm going to keep on bugging them. But I don't know why it wasn't announced yesterday in yesterday's budget.
Since the beginning of the year, the province did announce 2 homelessness and addiction recovery treatment hubs, known as Heart Hubs in Oshawa. But the mayor, who's dealt with addiction himself, says supported the ER will help bring people the right help at the right time.
What happens in many circumstances, we don't have the right resources in the right place. And what happens is many of the patients end up walking out, and we miss that opportunity to get them the proper care.
Sana's Riyahi has seen this herself. She's with Ontario Shores, a mental health care facility helping patients across Durham region.
If we have someone, for example, right now waiting for our trauma services, they could be waiting up to 1.5 years, 2 years to see a clinician.
With emergency departments often bearing the brunt.
When people are not getting their mental health and addictions services needs met, that they're going to the emergency departments.
In a statement, the province said Oshawa is one of the only communities in Ontario to receive multiple Heart Hubs, which will get $18 million each. Adding that as part of yesterday's budget, they're increasing funding for community-based mental health and addiction services by 4% in Oshawa and across the province. Nama Weingarten, CBC News, Oshawa.
All right, just stick with me on this, because traffic on one of Ontario's busiest highways is moving particularly slowly this rush hour, and it's all because of the utter chaos caused by a herd of cows. The cattle were spotted wandering south along Highway 400. The highway links the Greater Toronto Area to cottage country, where many Canadians are headed for this first long weekend of the summer. Provincial police officers are in the area working to guide the animals to safety. And we are joined now by one of those officers, Sergeant Kerry Schmidt. He's with the Ontario Provincial Police Highway Safety Division, and he's joining us from the scene. Sergeant Schmidt, how are things looking on the Milky Highway today?
Yeah, well, they're beef cattle, actually, and there's one here. I'm not sure if you can see him behind me. Please let me know if he comes towards me. He's been running up and down the 400 from Aurora Road, King, and Highway 9, and now up to Canal. So it's been a tough day for these cattle. They're exhausted, they're tired. The farmers are here right now. We've been trying to rustle them or wrangle them or direct them into trailers. We've got 2 in trailers, and there's 4 more outstanding. This one right here, we're just waiting for the farmers to get in here with some other equipment, and we're going to be assisting them with whatever we can. Fortunately, they're all off the highway now, which is important because it was running and darting through lanes as we were trying to get these cattle towards the trailers and get them off the highway safely.
Now, Sergeant Schmidt, I am no biologist, but I think if it's a cow, it's a she, right? So I can see her chilling out behind you.
Yeah.
Can you give us a sense of how this happened? Like, how did these cows get on the highway?
We're not 100% certain. I think one of the things that I heard is that this cattle got spooked with some thunder and lightning that happened overnight. And I think they've been kind of on the loose, all morning already trying to figure out what was going on. They got out of their enclosure, whatever that may be. And when they finally got on the highway, just around 2 o'clock, that's when we were notified and started trying to manage them along with the traffic. Obviously, it was certainly a very huge distraction for anyone going down the highway. And again, this is the 400. This is the northbound track to Cottage Country, and so it's just been loaded with people trying to get to the cottage before before it gets too dark. And sadly, this is certainly. You can't make this up, and I would have never expected this to happen on the Friday of a long weekend.
And just to provide some context for folks watching across the country, Highway 400 not only super busy, but this is, as the sergeant said, the main thoroughfare that people from downtown Toronto and the Greater Toronto area would be using to get up to northern parts of the province to enjoy this long weekend. So, can you tell me about some of the phone calls you all got? Like, were drivers calling you from the road saying,
yeah,
something doesn't feel quite right?
Yeah, we were getting 911 calls, all morning long as they were reporting these cattle. They got into a construction zone in between the lanes, and then they were going northbound. They turned around and go southbound, and they were going all over the place. And they were charging officers, they were charging people, they were charging vehicles. They're disoriented, they're scared, they don't know what to do. And it certainly was a pretty scary time for several officers as they had to dive for cover as these cows started running towards them. So this one now has finally gone into the Oak Ridges moraine here in these beautiful vegetable fields behind me, and it's finally got cornered in this little section of fence, and it's finally bunked down and settled in. The farmers, the owners are here with trailers and equipment, and hopefully we can get this problem resolved. But there's still 3 more cows on the other side of the 400 moving away from the 400 last time we checked, but we'll be monitoring them as well as this situation continues to unfold.
Sergeant, I know I'm milking all the jokes for what it's worth in this story. Please forgive me, but it is serious, right? Because someone could have been injured. These animals could have been injured. It must be so stressful and scary for them. Any sense of any injuries to the animals? Is there? I know the farmers are coming to assist you all, but is anyone coming to check if the animals are okay?
Oh yeah, we have animal welfare here as well. I'll tell you, one of the farmers is hurt right now. He got banged up pretty good as he was diving for cover as the cows were getting wrangled up actually in the field just behind me just a few minutes ago. So this could certainly have been very challenging and traumatic for anybody, and it could have caused pretty significant injuries. These are massive creatures, and they they're in a place where it's unfamiliar. They don't know what they're doing, and so we're just doing our best to keep traffic flowing, keep people safe, and we want to keep the animals safe as well. But again, we have to balance safety for everybody, and again, we don't want these cows to stay here and potentially get re-energized and then head back on the highway after it gets dark, because that could result in a fatality. Like, it could be an absolutely disaster. So it's it's not good. I recommend the chicken, actually. So
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I'm here for the puns. We're here all week. Try the veal. No, just kidding, everybody. Let's not push any vegetarians off the air right now. But these cattle have had a taste of freedom, Sergeant. They're going to be on the lamb. Oh my God, the fun doesn't stop. I know, I'm out of control. But how is Bessie behind you? How is she just staying there? Like, what if she gets up and charges at you?
I know. Well, that's why I need to keep open your eyes. I'm always checking them. It is absolutely exhausted. They've been going in the sun for the last 2, 3, 4 hours already, though. At one point, they got stuck in between the highway lanes. In the construction zone, there was a ditch, and there was some standing water there. And this cow, he stopped in there, and he started drinking because they are just completely gassed at this point. They're exhausted. So yeah, he found some shade. He's got some grass. This is some pretty good fixings for him. So yeah, we'll let him rest, and hopefully he stays in a position where he doesn't put anybody else in danger.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Oh gosh, it's terrible. Sergeant Kerry Schmidt, thanks so much for your time and for your forgiveness.
Yeah. Happy Victoria Day. Have a great weekend.
You too, sir. Take care.
Thank you.